All right. Let me just settle in here. Let me check the mic. Hope it's working. Maybe. I'm having a bit of mic issues today. Someone has been fiddling with it, so we'll hope it goes through. Just check again. Okay. I think it's working. I'll stay really close to the microphone just to be sure. Can I hear myself? I think it's working. It is. Cool. Awesome. Put this music down a little bit. Okay. Welcome to my little student stream today. Very excited for this, because today we're gonna do some animation, and I love animation. It's very cool. You can do a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time, and you can decide whether something looks very, very poorly made or it's great. So we're gonna dive into that. My name is Oliver. I'm the new bootcamp instructor here at CADA, and from now every Wednesday at 8 I'll be here. So be sure to tune in when you get that far. First off, I want to do a little intro to Blender, what it looks like, how you navigate it, because we're going to be using that throughout almost every bootcamp. So it's very good to just watch the intro and figure out how it works, and then you'll be much better off at the actual bootcamp and can better follow what I'm teaching. So open up Blender, and this is what's gonna meet you. We got the viewport, it's called, and down here you can see I have something turned on. It's called screencast keys, which basically just allows you to see what I'm clicking. So if I'm clicking G, you can see it. It makes it a lot easier if you're like, what did he do to do that? Okay, so you have the viewport here. First off, there are 3 axes you want to use. The Z axis, the X, and the Y. They're color coded. So this just means that whatever you manipulate will follow these lines. So let's take this cube here. If I want to move it, I can tap G to move it all the way around. If I want to move it only one direction, I click Z to move it up and down. Click G and Y to move it this way, and G and X to move along the X-axis. Super useful. If you want to rotate, you click R for rotate. Right now it's just freely rotating. If you want to rotate around the X-axis, you click X, of course. Rotate around the Y-axis, you click Y. And rotate around Z. You get the picture. So it's pretty self-explanatory here. Last thing we do to manipulate objects is scale, and that is S for scale. Pretty nifty. So S, X, S, Y, and S, Z. And if you just click S normally, you'll just scale it uniformly. Alright, so that's the base of manipulating stuff. Right now we're in something called object mode, which is the default mode when you want to add something and you want to manipulate entire objects. So if I want to make something new, I will first delete this cube. So you just select it or drag select, click X or delete, and you delete. And then to bring it back, we will Shift A or come up to add. It's the same. Shift A is faster though. Shift A, mesh, cube, and it's back. Great. So let's move this up just a bit. G, Z. And next thing we want to do is we want to manipulate the individual edges of it. So up here you can see we have a lot of different modes. Edit mode, sculpt mode, and some others we're not going to be using in this instance. So edit mode, the shortcut is tab. When you've selected an object, you can tab and you go into edit mode. We have 3 options. We can select vertices, which are these little dots here on the edge. We can select an actual edge, which is this one. And we can select faces, which is like the flat surface of 4 usually vertices. Shortcuts are 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. So, if I just want to move a vertice, I can do exactly the same. I select it, click G, and I can do everything we just talked about. You can also select multiple, and S for scale, G to move, R to rotate, and you can basically do anything you want. So, next up, what else can we do? When you do modeling in Blender, which we're going to do a lot of, you have 2 things you mainly use. You have extrusion and you have beveling. So let's start with extrusion. Let's say I go into face select by clicking 3. I click this face and I want to extrude it. I want to make it longer by adding new geometry. I click E to extrude, and by default it's right now to set. I can also disable that by clicking set. Go back to set and move it here. And then I click this face. I click E to extrude, and I click X this time. And there we have a shoe. Okay, let us then select. We want to select all of these here. We cannot do that because the behind vertices are being blocked. So in order to select everything in one go, you have to click Alt Z or click wireframe. Now can I select everything. G to move, Z axis, move it down. I'll select this one. S for scale, Y, and Alt Z to go out of that mode. Next up, let's do some beveling. So I will go into edge select mode by clicking 2, and I'll select all these. I think I'll select these guys too, just to showcase what it is. Okay, all edges. And next up, I will click Control B, and I'll drag. So basically, just drag however much you want. If you think it's not enough smoothness, you can just do the scroll wheel, and it's gonna be much smoother. There we go. Very nice. One more thing, if you click face select by clicking 3, and you click this guy up here, this is proportional editing. Basically, it means when you move something, it will manipulate the area around it. And you can use the scroll wheel again. So G, set, and let's say I want to flatten out this guy. I just move it here. Remember to turn it off when you're not using it. Very important. One more time, let's extrude. Let's just select these faces here. Let's just do this. E to extrude, Z axis. Boom. All right, that's the basics of what we're gonna do. It's a very brief, but yeah, this showcases most of it. Lastly, right now we are in what is called solid mode, which means it's showing as little as possible to make it easier for you to do stuff, and like easier for the computer at least. If you go here, you go into shading mode. You can see it's adding the light that's coming, and here we can add materials. So click tab to go into object mode. Click on this material tab, click new, and let's just add a material. If you go back to solid mode, you can't see it. Go into viewport shading, you can see it. All right. I think that's the basics of Blender. There is so much more to it, but this is what we're gonna do a ton of. So get familiar with it. Last thing I forgot to mention is how to actually move around in the viewport. See, now I've not even done this a lot, but in order to move around, you click middle mouse button to scroll around, or not to scroll, to rotate around whatever you're focused on. Hold shift and middle mouse to pan, and scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Alright. Nice. Last thing I want to show you guys is using the orthographic view. So on your numpad, if you click 3, you'll see I go into a flat view, which is very useful when you want to make sure things are very precise. So let's say I wanted to move this exactly down here. I can do that. If I click 1, I go into side view instead, and you can play around with it. There are several others. 7 is top view. So these 1, 3, and 7 are the ones I mainly use. Alright. This was the Blender intro. Now let's make a new scene up here. New, general. Don't say. Just turn down the music. There we go. Alright. Next up, we want to do some animation. So, let's delete everything we have here for now. So I just drag select everything and I click delete. Then I have a link for you guys. I'm gonna post it in the chat. It is a rig of a ball, which basically means it's a controllable ball. So download that right now, and then we'll open it up in Blender, and we'll see what we got. So I'll just do it right along with you guys. And go to File, Import, and we're gonna do no, sorry. You just actually open it in your File Explorer, and you just drag it in. And open. And don't save. And then it's actually gonna give us this. Cool, you can just ignore this. And this is super annoying to have out here. You can't really see anything. So in order to move that away, you have in the corner this little arrow thingy, whatever, aim thing. You just hold it and you move it to the right to join areas, and you release it. And we've soloed this one out. Alright. So when you open the link, something like this should meet you. Let me just change this. Alright, viewport. I'll just wait while you guys settle in and get it downloaded. Alright, so it should look something like this. We have a ball and we have some controllers. So don't be too overwhelmed by this. Let me see it. This is actually a really simple rig compared to anything else we're gonna do in the future. But basically, this is the ball, whatever we want to manipulate, and these ones are what we use to manipulate it with. Inside it are different bones connected to it, which makes us able to move it around, but someone has already made it more simple for us to animate it. So this one is the main controller to move it around. And this one, let me just click here. Oh, sorry, I have to be in, that's here at CADA we use Maya, Autodesk Maya, as our main software. So it's very different compared to Blender. So if I keep clicking things in different order, it's just because I'm used to another program. So in Blender, when you want to access controllers, you have to click on the rig. You can see it's highlighting over here in the outlier, and then you have to go into pose mode. And now you can see we're moving it around. So this is moving the entire rig. We're not gonna use this controller. This one is moving the ball and the other controllers. This one is the rotation. We're not gonna use that today. I want to keep it very simple for you guys. What we're gonna use though are these squash and stretch controllers. Very, very handy, very cool to give some more character, some more life to the animation. So what it does is it allows you to squash and stretch the ball, making it more bouncy. Imagine like a balloon, when you push it, it squashes. A basketball basically does this too. It's just very fast and very little because it's so inflated and very hard. But the softer the ball, the more basically squashes. Wow, that's a hard word. Okay. So, where do we go from here? Down here, we have our timeline. So this shows how long we are in our animation. And the little numbers here are called keyframes. Or just frames, sorry. Keyframes are what you add to the frames. So right now we have 100 frames. That's a lot for this brief animation. So I'll just click here. Set this down to something like 40. And you can see now it will stop at 40 frames. So if I play this, it will play 40 frames and that's it. Alright. Let me just see here. Awesome. Next up, you can do however you want to, but I really advise you to use auto keying this guy. Let me just show you guys what I mean. So if I take this controller and I click I, you can see this adding a little keyframe here, and these turn yellow. If I then move the slider, always, I'm gonna forget this too, but always remember to move the slider first down here, then G to move and move your object, and you see the values up here changed, and then you click I again in the viewport. Don't click down here, click here, and then it's adding a new keyframe, and you see them turn yellow. So now if I slide, you see my little animation. Wow, amazing. I know, thank you. So what usually happens if you don't use auto keying is you move it over here, the slider, and you start, oh, let me put it here, let me squash it a bit, and then you go to the animation, oh, and it pops back. And that's gonna be so frustrating. Because, oh, why is this not popping back actually? Oh, it's because it doesn't even have a key on yet. Yeah, exactly. So let's just reset this. So always make sure that you key every time you do something or have auto key on. This basically does so. Let me move here. Let me take this. Whenever you do something with your controllers, it automatically spawns a keyframe. Super nifty. So you never forget it. And you can always just delete it if you don't want it. Just drag it and delete, and it will go back. So I'd rather have too many keyframes and delete them than do a lot of work on a character or rig and then it all disappears because I forgot it. Okay, let me just get rid of these and start over. This is the basic of how. Let's move to keyframe 1, just so we start there. Oh yeah, and if you find yourself having the ball out here and you delete the keyframes and you're stuck, usually it should have translates. Why did not do that? Now they're back. I don't know what happened. Okay, let's say I deleted this, and you see up here it is stuck to set 1.4 blah blah blah. We don't want that, so you can just select these and click 0 to set it to 0, and then you can delete, and we're back in 0. Alright, so what we want to do today, it's more fun to actually do some animation in order to understand it rather than me just yapping about it. So we want to make this ball bounce. And I'm gonna try and do 2 different bounces. So first off, I just want the ball to bounce up and down. And if we have time, I'm gonna make it jump forward and down. So the easiest way is to go into orthographic view. So I'm just gonna click 3. I'm gonna click 1. Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna click 1. It doesn't really matter. It's just either you follow the x-axis or you follow the y-axis. But today we're gonna follow the x-axis. First off, you want to select all your controllers and you want to click I. Because now you can see we add a keyframe to everything. Next up, we want to move the slider. And I think I want to move it to frame 6 here. And no, let's first move to frame 15. Then I'm going to select this guy, the ball move controller, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna move it up along the Z axis. So G and Z. And let's move it. Let's give it a good big bounce. There we go. Gonna move to frame 30. And why is it doing this again to me? And it's back. I don't really understand why it's not selecting it. Okay. And set this back to 0. Because we want it back. Okay, so now we have this beautiful animation. Oh. Jump and down. Very nice. We're already so far. Okay, several things to notice right now. It's not a bounce. It's like levitating and floating up. And what it's doing is it's easing in the motion and it's easing out. The best way to show this is to click on the little watch icon here and go to the graph editor. Got this guy here. And let me just disable all these. We're not going to use these. So the blue here indicates what we just did. We changed the Z axis. Alright. So if I take this keyframe and I move it up, you see even though I'm still in frame 1, I'm actually moving the sphere around. Right click to not do that. So what we want to do is we want to make it more snappy. We want to make it jump. We don't want it to like float. So what you do is you see these little black thingies here. It's connected to every single keyframe. You want to select this G to move. And we want to push this up. And now if we play, I think we're going to do this. Yes, sorry. Go into the animation tab. It's going to be a bit easier. You can always make your own viewport how you want, but I'm just going to go into animation. I'm going to change this one. And change this one to the graph. Yes, so now we have a timeline on here. And we have the graph editor. And I'm just gonna reduce this. I want to, there we go. Zoom in. Okay, so now if I play here, not watch the ball. You see it's much more of a jump. And then it's floating again. And then it's floating down. So we're gonna have to do the same thing for the falling down animation. Gonna select this here. This is called tangents. G to move. Oh. First I'm gonna select the keyframe. It's not working. This is annoying. Why is it doing this? Okay, I don't know why it was doing that. Compose mode. It's graph editor. For some reason in here, I cannot select them. Okay, I have no idea what this problem is. As I said, I'm usually in Maya. Let's go back to general and let's just do it here then. It's fine. It doesn't matter that much. Again, we want to move this guy up. So the fall is going to be snappy. Let's click space to play it. I still think it's floating a bit much here. It's like not falling down that fast. So I think I want to move this guy up. Play again. I think I want even more actually. G to move. Let's try this. That's better. So it's a jump up, it loses its altitude, and then it falls fast down. Awesome. Now, this is kind of boring that it just jumps up and down with no real anticipation. Usually when you do a movement, you don't just move your hand. You want to like anticipate. If it's a throw, for example, you want to go backwards and then you want to throw. Okay? If you sneeze, you like suck in air, you cringe your face, and then you let it out, right? Same with a ball. When it bounces, it doesn't just jump out of nowhere. So next up, we want to add the squash and stretch. So let's zoom in here. Let's go to frame 1 in the timeline and select our squash controller here. So if I click G now, I can move it very freely. It's just a bit much. So make sure you lock yourself to the Z axis. So G, Z. And this would make it squash. But we don't want it to squash right away. We want it to do it around here. G, Z. Let's say 5 frames. Squash it down. The problem right now is it's squashing while it's moving. And we can't have that. We want it to wait, squash, and then jump up. So what we're going to do is we have to click this controller. And again, it's not this one. Sorry. Then you want to select the keyframe you had on frame number 1. Control C. And move it to, let's say, frame 6. Control V. And if it looks something like this, it's super wonky. We don't want that. Select both of them. Right click. And let's go into handle type automatic. No, sorry. Handle type aligned. No. Okay, sorry, it's interpolation mode in this. Linear, boom, there we go. Of course, this is not perfect for this one, so this one we might wanna change to exponential. No. Again, it's the same. Maya works the same way, but it's set in different things. Bezier, yes, okay, Bezier. That's the one we want. We can always change it again like this, because we want it to just hold its position, and then we want it to boom, bounce up. So, okay, this one we change this to linear because we want it to be flat. The next keyframe we change to Bezier because we want it to like move, right? Yes, perfect. You can also set it to free, and then you can do whatever you want with these. I think this is very good though. Let's try and play it. Space. Nice. We got the anticipation. Next up, we want it to actually fire off. It's not just bouncing out of nowhere. So it's squashing down. I'm gonna select the squash here. And we want it to explode up. So go to 2 frames forward. We want it to be very snappy. Click G, set, and let's go kind of crazy, just for the lulz. So go back. Let's play it. Yeah, now we're talking. Alright, so notice the... I'm just gonna pause it. Notice the anticipation. It's squashing. And then it starts... stretching before it actually jumps. Because if you made it jump sooner, it would be very floaty. There's no power. You want it to... The same if you do a jump yourself. You go down and you like lift your arms up before you actually lift off from the floor. You actually full extended in the hips. And then you start flying, or whatever you want to call it. Boom. And I think actually we want it to look even more powerful around here. So let's take this and let's move it even further. There we go. And then when it loses altitude, around 15 is our dead spot. I kind of want it to be squashed again, just a tiny bit. Something like this. I think I'm gonna change that. I think I'm gonna give this halfway. I'm gonna use the other one. Remember, we didn't use any keyframe from this. So we're gonna set a new keyframe with I. And around here, I wanna squash this side too. So both sides are squashing inwards. To give it like a compressed look, and then it's gonna expand or stretch again. Nice, that's exactly what I want. And now it's gonna fall down. Let me just pull this a bit. Yeah. And at the moment of impact is where I wanted to reach its max length. Just so at 30 it's hitting the ground. So at 29 I'm gonna go crazy. And at 30 I'm gonna set it to 0. And I think around here I'm gonna set the top one to 0 too. Okay. No. Okay, so since we're working with 2 controllers and not just one, it makes it a bit more. You get. Think of it this way: the more controllers you have, the more control you have, the more you can manipulate whatever it is you're trying to animate. But the more tricky and the more intricate it becomes too. Because these controllers can easily affect each other in super weird ways. So right now, let's look at it. We're coming up here. Right now, this is squashing too much. Okay, so what I want this guy to be all the way over here. So when he comes up, he slowly starts to bounce back. And actually I think I want him to wait. So what we're gonna do now, something you want a lot when you want something to hold a pose, but not being too static. Let me show what I mean. So if I copy this keyframe here and put it over here, and you look at this one here, you see it's just being totally static. It's not moving at all. The only thing is moving is the rest of the ball. But we don't want that. Nothing is ever completely static. So in order to fix that, you select, let's delete this keyframe. Oh, it's not keyframe, good. Select both keyframes. Actually, I'm gonna move this up slightly. I'm gonna move them both up ever so slightly. Select both. Oh, 1 second. I get confused because the color is the same here. So this guy and this guy. Then you select the two inner tangents here and you move them up. So you see we're getting this nice little curve here. The more you do it, the more sharp it becomes. So you only want it to be just slightly so it keeps moving up and then it's moving down. And now we want this guy to get even more up. So around here, we want this to be actually squashed. So this starts to move before this one does. There we go, that's better. Okay, let's play it. Yeah, now it's looking super freaky. It's not really what I want. And this is what animation is basically about. It's a lot of tweaking and getting the feel right. So what's happening right now is it's stretching way too fast compared to how fast it's falling down. And the main reason is that we have way too many frames here. Because our jump right now is from frame 6 to frame 15, which is also kind of long jump. Makes it a bit floaty. So I'm gonna do two things. First off, like I said, nothing is ever completely still. So we want it to hold the pose, but still move a bit. So I'm gonna take this keyframe and move it one frame to the side. Well, to make sure I snap it to the x-axis here. I'm gonna copy it, Control C. I'm gonna put one more at frame 16. I'm gonna select the two inner tangents, move them up along the z-axis, like so. Is it too much? Something like this. Let me see. Because right now I don't like how long this one over here is. Okay, you can manually put it down. Just want to get this guy down here. Something like this. Yeah, same over here. It's flattening out the curve a lot. Nice. There we go. Okay, so now we got this nice little smooth curve. It's still moving a bit. It's holding the pose, but it's never completely still. Next up, we gotta fix the problem that it's floating all the way down. So here we had 6, so 14, that's 8 frames. So let's try and add 8 frames to the downfall as well. So let's move this guy to frame 24, G and X. Let's see how this looks now. Just see. Yeah, and if you want to hide the controllers when you're watching the animation, you can click up here, the rig, hide it with the eye, and let's play. It's better. I like the jump the most, the initial jump. That's the best part so far. And when it's jumping up, it's kind of falling a bit too fast. I think I'm making the top squash go down a bit too fast. I should hold that a bit longer. And also I think it's falling a bit too slow. I think it should be a bit faster. So let's unhide the rig up here. Let's move this guy 2 more times. Let's see how this looks. And let's select this controller. And then I want to move this one over here. So it's doing it later. Yes. And at the end frame 22, I want it to be completely... Actually, I don't want it to be completely flat. I want it to be a little bit squashed as well. There we go. And I don't want it to smooth in. You can see right here, it has this ease. The sharper the graph is, the faster it is. So it's gonna be most speedy right there. So you want to select this and you want to move it up. Oh, you want to select this one. Move it up like this. And we don't need a frame right before, it's useless. And then we can actually... What do we though? And then I think we want to do this. And this. Because I want to slowly follow down. Notice I'm really trying to make the curves as smooth as possible. You'd never want a curve to look something like this. Almost never, at least. And then at the end here, it, bam, goes down. Cool, and let's fix the end here as well. Because we moved the rest of the frames, we need to move these over as well. Okay, so the reason why I put them at the exact point of impact and not before is otherwise this is gonna fall through like this, which it would never. It would stop at the, what's it called? At the ground, right? So this is just weird, and over it has a frame where it's doing nothing but folding itself up. So we really want it to be exactly at the end frame. So now it's fully stretched out. If I actually did even more, it would look better, like this. And boom, it's squashed. And then I might want to make this even more squashed. And I think I'll delete this keyframe. Oh. So when it lands, it just squashes out like this. Okay, let's try and play it. Let me hide this. Zoom in. Let me go to the side view. And let's play. It's better. I like how it's accelerating. I think I might have speeded up a bit too much with the fall. So let me just... It's luckily very easy to fix that. You just select the controller and let's select get rid of these. Select this one and this one. Select them both. And let's just move all of the frames just 2 times to the right. No, once. Oh, let's move it twice. Oh, it didn't select both. Oh well. Oh, it's because it's like the wrong one. So this one we need to select this and move it. Oh. So just make sure whenever you're changing keyframes, you want to make sure you change every single one. So actually this would make more sense to select all of them. And then every single frame on frame 22, you would select it and you would move it. So it's all in unison. Because now it still does the same, it's just a bit later. Now I want to fix this weird middle animation. So it's going up. The problem is that it's not holding the pose. It's just moving right away. This is going up, and then it's moving down immediately. You can see here the graph editor. It doesn't hold the pose at all. It's just going up, and then it's going down. And that's not what we want. Also, I think we want this to start a bit sooner. Because right now it doesn't start going up with it before here. So this is the bottom squash. And it's okay that it's easing in, because it takes some time for it. And then goes up. And I think around here we should move this to. And we should copy it, Control C. Control V. And then again we want to make that smooth transition. So G and Z. So it's not gonna be G, Z, X, Y, G and Y, sorry. So I want it to move up, squash itself down. Let me see. Maybe actually one more frame. Let me try it. So it's really holding the pose, and then when it's falling down, it's starting to. And then I think I wanted to wait longer to be all stretched out. Yes. Because it needs to have some weight to it before it starts stretching, instead of it just stretching, then it's actually trying to reach the ground. It should be because of the falling. I also think it might be a bit too much. Just in general, so let's move this a bit up. I think this is better. Okay, let's try and play it again. As you're seeing, it's a lot of tricking, it's a lot of analyzing whatever it is you're doing and what you're trying to make. So in our case, I want to make this ball look really bouncy and really smooth and fluid. So I spend a lot of time looking from and really noticing where it is off and tweaking one or two controllers, checking again. And you want to keep repeating that until you get something that feels right. So let's try and play it. This is better. I like this more. I still think it's falling a bit too fast. And it's not really accelerating as it was before. So we come up here. It's squashing a bit. I think we want the other controller to follow a tiny bit longer. So this one. I think we want it to. This is better. And maybe. Yes, fall down. And then we want this curve to be much. I think we want move this up a bit. We want to we want to flatten out this curve because we want it to really take its time with straightening out, and then we want it to straighten out a lot in the end. So I'm just pulling the tangent here to make it go a lot. To make it hold this for a lot longer. It's much more smooth. And then this one here. Right now, if I pull this, the other side gets pulled as well. And we don't really want that in this case, because we want this to be extremely snappy the other way. It's only one frame, so it doesn't really matter in this case. But what you want to do is you want to right click and you want to select the handle type to free handle. So now you can use both sides. like this. See, now it's not doing it until at the very end. I think this is a bit too long. Something like this. So it's very slowly. And then we could make this a tiny bit more down. Then we take this handle and we move this up. Nice. Okay. Let's see it again. Again, the end is not good yet. We're just doing one thing at a time. It's better. Looks much more natural at the top here. That's nice. What I would do to make it feel even better is actually make it hold the pose just 1 or 2 frames longer, because it is still falling a bit fast. Yes, I think that's what I want. Just to really accentuate that it's holding it. So I'm going to select all the controllers here. I'll move all of these both of these 1 frame to the left, and these guys, don't select this one, 1 frame to the right. Let's try it out. I don't know if that was too much. Play. It is better. It feels more natural now. It's holding its weight, and it's more snappy. It's like really doing a. I do feel when it's doing the bounce right now, it's the initial no, maybe that's okay. I think I want the top one to move a tiny bit more up. Move this. And you see here we have a problem with the curve. It's doing like this little weird S movement. And we don't want that. So I'm gonna move these guys like this. This should make it a lot better. I think I'm gonna move this one up a bit as well again. Again, we have to fix the curve. Fix the curve. So let's see what we got now. And now it's not squashing as much, but I do also feel like I want it to come more from the bottom than the top. So let me go back. Select this one. So when it reaches this point, I want it to move even more up. So what I'm doing is I'm basically just selecting these 2 tangents. And I can I scale them? No. I'll just move them up like this. And move them sideways. I can make this one a bit shorter. So now it should have this. Yes, sir. Got it. We're back to the stretchy feeling, and starting with the bottom, squash and stretch again, and then the rest is following. And still holding the pose a bit. If I move this one up. me try playing again. It's better. Yeah, it feels much more smooth now. I think the last thing I want for this is to make the initial jump feel a bit more powerful, just a tiny bit. This is something that feels off to me. And this here, I think I want to try and make it even more crazy. So I think I want to move this even more, and then it slows down. Oh, I accidentally hit it. Wrong key. Again? Oh, I keep clicking H instead of G. Jesus Christ. G. I want to do something like this. Let me see if this is better. So now there's some more stretchiness to it. So it's even longer at this point here. And I also think I want it to be even longer a bit sooner. So around here is where it should be almost maxed out. So I grab this. G and Y. I want to make this go a bit smoother. Something again, I'm trying to make the curve very smooth. It's much more power now. And last thing, I wanted to move a bit more snappy. And right now it's easing into the jump and then it's jumping. So if I change the handle type into 3, move this guy up, it's gonna bounce or jump more instantly. Try again. That's better. Last thing I need is it's not stretching that much in the end now. Yeah, and if you start animating, you're gonna figure out you're never gonna be satisfied. You're gonna keep tweaking forever. At one point, you're gonna have to give in and say, okay, this is it. I'm done. But it's really hard. You can really just keep going forever. Which is part of the fun about it, that you're not done until you feel you're done, basically. And you can decide when that is. Let me see if I change this. I want it to be more here. This I want to be more here. There we go. Yes, this is what I want. Okay, lastly, we need to fix the endpoint. It's not supposed to just bounce and then stay flat. We want it to do a little wiggle. So in order for it to settle, you know. So right now it's doing this. And it's the top controller it's using. You can see it's here, huh? I hit it again. Oh, it's this one. Oh, okay. So figure out why it's doing what it's doing. Oh, it's because I can't click the right one. Okay, that makes more sense. I was confused why it didn't let me do anything. So select the top squash controller here. We have this. And then we wanna, again, Control C, Control V. Wanna select the two. This is a keyframe. This is a keyframe. We wanna select these two, and we wanna the two tangents, and wanna move them down a bit. So it's like doing this I think we want to do it even more aggressively. And then we want it to go back up, so let's select this guy, move this 2 frames up, and move it up, like this. So we're getting this bounce effect. Select 2 more frames, move this one around like this. And select these 2 again. Move them 2 frames over, I think. I think 2 frames is too much, but I'm just trying it out. I want to get this very close to 0. Very low? Close to 0? Wait, what's happening? Oh, I know what's happening. I accidentally touch the other graphs. Let me just hide them, so we cannot touch it, because it's gonna. Because with this controller you can do anything. You can move it to the side, which is kind of cool, but that's not what we want in this case. We just want this guy. So again, let me do this here. I'm gonna try and make it very bubbly. That's basically what I'm aiming for at the moment. And I want it to settle. And this is way too long. It should be even. And these ones should be up, high up. So I'm really trying to smoothen out the curve now. Okay, let's see what we got. Just play the last bit of the animation here. Hide the controllers. Look at it from the side view by clicking free. Okay, it is doing what I want, but it's way too soft and bubbly. We want it to be snappy. So in order to fix that, we just simply remove the space between. So right now it's going here. Just select all of it. Move this 1 to the left. So I'm just gonna move every single frame here 1 to the left, again 1 to the left. Oh, make sure I select the actual keyframe. And the last one here, 1 to the left. And then want to fix the curves. I think if we select all of it, right click, and select automatic, yeah, it's gonna fix the smoothness for us. Last, we need to help this guy a bit along. Let's shorten this one. Okay, let's see if that helped. Nice, that's better. It's a bit stiff at the landing. It's like it's taking... Yeah, it has the same keyframe here twice in a row. Yeah. Select. Yes, I see it now. So this frame is the same as this frame, and we don't want that. So what we can do is we can actually just grab everything and move it to the same. Now it's squashing a bit too much. So let's take this one and move this all the way here. Something like this. Yeah, because there's only 1 frame between these two, even though we have the nice arch here, it's not really doing anything for us. So we have to... What we're gonna do instead is we're gonna move this 1 again, and we're gonna increase the hell out of these. And then these are gonna be moved like this. This is gonna be set to 0. Oh, not this one. This one. Oh, you have to be on the keyframe. Okay, there we go. Okay. This is too low. There we go. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's so much better. Now look at that. We have an animation. That's what I call a nice settle. Because there's a big impact. The initial squash is much more intense. And then slowly settles more and more in. You could add like a tiny bounce extra if you wanted to. And part of what is making this a bit slow is the frame rate. You see it up here. It's not super fast. Let me see if I can fix that. Let me just check something. Okay, let's try to do a quick render of this. Let me just see. So, render, viewport animation. Let's first select the actual amount of frames we need. So, animation stops at frame 30. So, let's go into... Where is it? Animation. Let's set this to 30. Let's go back in general. View. Render. Animation. And it's gonna do what is called a play blast of your animation. And you can then save that as, let's see, bouncing ball. Stream. Okay, let me save this to my desktop. There we go. Okay, let me find it. Desktop. Date. It's not working. Where is it? Why can't I see it? You saw it, reviewed the whole thing. Render, animation. Let's see. Okay, I cannot figure out why I can't see the whole thing. Again, Blender is not my main... Sorry about that, guys. It's not my main software, but I will definitely figure it out. Because it should render result. I see I have like frame 30 here. Movie clip. No. Video sequencer. There we go. Okay, it's just because I'm in the wrong place. Okay, let's try again. View. Add scene. Image. It is playing the viewport now. Okay, I just need to figure out how to export it. Give me 1 second. on this. Control F11. Well, it's easy to see now at least what we have. This is looking much better. And notice that the animation is repeating itself. If you want it to look a bit more smooth, the repeating, I think I'll just get this like 5 frames longer. Let's try again. Control F11. Let me see here. I know why it's not doing it. Let me show you. Select all the controllers. Click I. The viewport here. And there we go. Control F11. There you go. Now it's anticipating the next jump again. Very nice. All right. So let me see here. Very confused. I will get to the bottom of this. Render animation. Control F12. Maybe that's what? Now we're getting something. I'll just do this. Go to General. Control F12. There we go. And let it rest. It's gonna get all the frames. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So we got all our PNGs here. And you can basically just put these into any kind of software that is doing video editing, and you got yourself a little clip. You can always use this as well. Alright, I think that's it for today. That's all we had time for. Just gonna let this play while I finish talking. Put this down. Control F11 to show it. Okay. There we go. Let me see here. Sorry, I just got lock camera to view. Zoom this camera out. Why can't I do that? Camera, animation. Go. There we go. See here. No, it still don't do it. Wow. I'm having a tough time with these things today. Just delete this. Maybe this is better. Just worked for me before. Oh, technical issues. I hate it. It is what it is. Go here. got it here. I think control over. There we go. Okay, now I know why. It's because I have to tell Blender where I want to do it. So here go to view, viewport render animation. It's gonna render it. And now I click F11. There we go. Awesome. Finally, I got it to work. Thanks for tuning in. This is animation basics. Of course, if you want to get information, there's a whole thing with characters, with animating objects, secondary motions, where if you hit something, how will it interact, etc., etc. The bouncing ball here could be a lot more fun if we added some movement to it sideways. But I really wanted to focus more on getting it to look good, than just doing as many animations as possible. Because if the animation doesn't look good, doesn't matter how many you do. You really want to do the fine tuning, especially in the graph editor. That's where you get most out of your money. So you want to get the big key poses first, we call it. So set it up at in this instance at the bottom, at the height of your jump, and the bottom again, and then you start clearing up whatever issues or whatever the inconsistencies you see. Alright. Thanks for tuning in again. And remember to join the stream on Wednesday. I'm gonna do some modeling in Blender. And from there, we just go on every week and have some fun in 3D. It's totally beginner friendly, as today is. And see you there. Bye bye.